A Michigan judge hands down an unusual sentence to a woman accused of being distracted by her cell phone when her car struck and killed a bicyclist.
The lesson to be learned here came at too great of a price for the Bilich family. A lesson that came at too great of a price for Miss Nelson. A lesson that hopefully none of us will ever have to face and none of us will ever have to think about.
Mitzi Nelson will now serve 90 days in jail and cannot use her cell phone for 2 years. So is this a fair punishment? The Clinton County District Court judge who actually made that decision, Judge Stewart McDonald, joins us now. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you for having me.
So most folks watching today, they would want to understand how you came up with this sentence.
Well, the prosecutor brings the case. I get a pre-sentence investigation report with recommendations from the probation office. At the sentencing hearing, I hear from the defendant, the defendant's attorney, the prosecutor, and the victim's family. Most specifically, I heard from the victim's husband, Jordan Bilich. And most of the components of the sentence were components recommended by the probation officer. But the cell phone ban was actually requested by Mr. Bilich to be considered. And after I considered it, I thought it was appropriate.
So the victim's husband himself offered up this as a possibility. I mean, it's such an unusual sentence, though. What type of point do you hope to make to others who may see what happened here?
Well, the point is, I think if you look at we Americans, and really worldwide, we're too dependent on, too connected to our cell phones. Everybody wants to stay connected in the world at all times, 24/7. And I just don't think it's appropriate to stay connected in that kind of way when you're driving a motor vehicle down the highway. Mm-hmm. And in the blink of an eye, this is what happened to Joe Bilich. And this is what happened to the defendant, Mitzi Nelson.
And in terms of jail time, how much jail time is she receiving again, and why not more jail time?
Well, the legislature in Michigan set up this offense to be a 1-year maximum misdemeanor. So the maximum sentence I could have imposed was 1 year in the county jail. If I imposed that, I would be ignoring the rest of the requirements that I'm supposed to look at in terms of sentencing: punishment, deterrence, rehabilitation, protection of society. So from that standpoint, I have to balance the punishment, the penalty, with an opportunity to rehabilitate any defendant. And in this case, I imposed a 6-month sentence. 90 days she will serve. The last 90 days was deferred to the end of the period of probation. She can earn, so to speak, an opportunity to not to serve that last 90 days if she conforms her behaviors to the requirements of probation over 2 years.
And it's a serious problem. I mean, in 2013 alone, over 3,000 people killed in crashes involving cell phones. Once again, we want to thank you for joining us. And who is your lovely wife? What is her name? Your lovely wife?
Dorothy.
Dorothy? We want to thank Dorothy as well, because I understand that this is your 34th wedding anniversary, right?
Yesterday we were up in Traverse City, and we got up a little early this morning to get down to Grand Rapids.
Well, thank Dorothy for us.
I'm glad to join you.
Yeah, tell her thank you and congratulations to the two of you. We appreciate it.
All right.
And our hearts go out to the Bilich family as well.